Front page of the Sun newspaper, royal exclusive, Fergie time. Sarah Ferguson, formerly the Duchess of York, of course, is considering offers for a tell-all TV interview.
Sarah Ferguson has reportedly done something she has not done in decades. Things are getting messy over at Royal Lodge. According to a new claim, she has finally cut off all contact with Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. Not stepped back, not taken a pause, cut off. That is the wording being used by royal commentator Rob Shooter, who says insiders close to the situation insist this is not about morals or making a statement. They say it is about survival. After years of standing publicly beside Andrew, even when it damaged her own standing, Sarah Ferguson may have decided that staying close to him is no longer worth the cost. And if that sounds dramatic, wait until you hear the reason being given.
Her public downfall over links to sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, US channels are said to be willing to pay six-figure sums to secure the chat with the former Duchess of York. It would evoke memories of her ex-husband, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor.
According to Shooter's sources, the break has less to do with Andrew himself and more to do with what he can no longer provide. One insider put it bluntly, saying he can no longer offer a free home, zero rent, and that now she is out. The same source claimed Sarah is fed up with living in what they described as Andrew's mess, and that distancing herself now might save what little reputation she has left. That is a sharp turn from the woman who spent years defending him, appearing alongside him, and maintaining what many called an unusually close relationship for a divorced couple. For decades, Sarah Ferguson and Andrew presented a united front. Even after their divorce in 1996, they continued to live together at Royal Lodge, raised their daughters together, holidayed together, and publicly supported one another through scandal after scandal. That closeness raised eyebrows for years, especially as Andrew's controversies mounted. But Sarah never wavered, at least not publicly, until now.
Car crash Newsnight interview. A source told The Sun Andrew's had his chance to tell his story. Now it's Fergie's time. This could be a major headache for the king, couldn't it,
it is a major
Paul?
headache, isn't it?
The timing of this alleged break is important. These claims surfaced just days after reports emerged that Princess Eugenie has also cut off contact with her father. According to the Mail on Sunday, citing palace sources, Eugenie is no longer speaking to Andrew at all. It was reported that she did not visit him over Christmas and has chosen to distance herself completely. One insider described the difference between the two sisters quite clearly. They said, Beatrice is trying to walk a fine line, staying connected to her father while also remaining close to the royal family. Eugenie, on the other hand, is not walking that line at all. She is simply not speaking to him. That says something, because for years, Eugenie was seen as Andrew's strongest ally within the family. She defended him publicly, stood by him privately, and appeared unwilling to let go even as pressure mounted. If both Sarah Ferguson and Princess Eugenie are now stepping away, it suggests something more than a temporary rift. Rob Shooter's report frames Sarah's decision as calculated, but not in a grand or strategic way.
It was a catch-22 anyway. What do you do with Andrew and Fergie's, mutually part of that, exclusively part of Andrew and his team? But they're cut loose now, and she...
Instead, it's described as damage control, arriving late and under pressure. One confidant reportedly said, Andrew's problems are her problems, and that she benefited from her association with him for years. The same source suggested that now that the perks are gone, so is her loyalty. That is a harsh assessment, but it reflects a view held by many royal watchers who have long questioned whether Sarah's support was rooted in affection, necessity, or convenience. It also claims Sarah wants to appear independent and unburdened. Friends, however, are said to be sceptical. One source told Shooter they are not buying the sudden reinvention, pointing out how deeply embedded she has been in Andrew's world for decades. And that raises the question of whether a clean break is even possible. The two share daughters, a long history, and overlapping social circles. Even if contact has been reduced or paused, Insiders suggest the separation will not be simple or permanent behind the scenes. One friend reportedly said Sarah has realised she does not need Andrew or his drama anymore.
Doesn't have the protection of the royal family, and she's going to need to make money. This six-figure fee will become 7 figures the juicier the gossip is.
Yes.
So she's going to be sort of pushed towards saying as much as she possibly can.
Another warned that getting away from both his issues and her own role in them will not be easy. There is also the practical question of where Sarah goes from here. With Andrew reportedly preparing to leave Royal Lodge and downsize, the living arrangements that kept them intertwined may finally be coming to an end. That alone changes the dynamic. For years, proximity made separation difficult, both logistically and emotionally. If Andrew is no longer able to offer housing or financial stability, Sarah's incentive to remain closely linked to him diminishes significantly. Still, the report is careful to note uncertainty. No timeline has been given. No official confirmation has been made by Sarah Ferguson herself. And sources caution that whatever is happening publicly may not reflect what is happening privately. But it also raises a harder question, and it's one many royal watchers are already asking. What does this say about Sarah herself? She never felt the need to distance herself before. Not during the worst years of Andrew's scandals, and not even when his association with Jeffrey Epstein became impossible to ignore. Through all of that, she stayed close, supportive, and very much present. Yet now, when the financial security appears to be gone, that is when the line is finally drawn. To some, that timing feels less like principle and more like convenience. Sarah has a long and complicated history when it comes to money, and that history has followed her for decades. From past debts to business ventures that raised eyebrows, finances have often played an outsized role in her decision-making. For critics, this latest move fits an uncomfortable pattern, one where loyalty seems strongest when the benefits are still flowing.
I think there's going to be a lot of squeaky bums at the palace right now, Mark. I think it potentially could be a big issue. She hasn't done anything too mental in recent years. I mean, I don't think she's as stupid as Andrew. Andrew's mateless interview in 2019.
Whether that is a fair assessment or not, it is a narrative that is resurfacing, and one Sarah may find difficult to shake this time around. There's also been fresh reporting on exactly what will happen with Sarah Ferguson's living arrangements now that she and Andrew have to vacate Royal Lodge. Sources say the deadline to leave the Windsor residence is right around the end of January, and that she will not be moving with Andrew to his new home on the Sandringham estate. Instead, she is said to be weighing several different options for where she might establish her own household, including looking at properties in the Windsor area, or even temporarily staying with family while she decides on something more permanent. Some reports go even further, suggesting she may already have left Royal Lodge, or could soon follow her younger daughter Princess Eugenie to Portugal, where Eugenie, her husband Jack Brooksbank, and their 2 sons spend a good deal of time. Other insiders have echoed that she wants a clean break geographically as well as socially. None of these plans have been confirmed by Sarah herself, and it remains unclear whether she has signed on a new home yet or is still actively searching. This story could signal a genuine shift within the family. Or it could be a temporary distancing, designed to protect appearances while maintaining quiet contact. Royal watchers have seen similar moves before, especially when pressure reaches a tipping point. What makes this moment different is the alignment. Sarah stepping back, Eugenie stepping away, Beatrice keeping her distance, Andrew increasingly isolated. Whether this is coincidence or coordination remains unclear. But for the first time in years, the narrative around Sarah Ferguson and Prince Andrew appears to be changing, and not in his favour. So here's the question for you. Do you think this is a real break, or just another chapter in a long pattern of public distancing, PR, and private loyalty? And if Sarah Ferguson is truly done, why now and not years ago? Let me know what you think. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest royal developments, make sure you're subscribed.